PSA is blowing up the internet again. God damn it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Retro Hoop Collectibles. I'm pretty tired this morning, but we need to talk about this because I don't even know what to say anymore. Because I've been thinking about this back and forth. I don't know what to make of this. And for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, and if you read the description on the video and you're still unaware of what I'm talking about, this was posted by Nat Turner, who is the head cheese, the big dog, the boss man for PSA. He's a CEO. I think his official title is CEO of Collectors Universe, which is the parent company for PSA, and they own a bunch of other stuff, but we won't get into what all they own because that's a whole nother can of worms. But what was interesting about this particular one is he posted a picture of I believe this was, well, let's take a look, see if we can find it. Nat's there we go. So he posted this picture of a graded pack of Star Wars 1977 wax pack of Star Wars. And in this, wait a second now. Did they delete it? Okay, here it goes. Will the website get updated about the backlog? Sorry, updates about thin sleeves for stickers doesn't really tickle my fancy. And what he's talking about here is this update here about PSA basically saying, no, there's nothing wrong with the cards. We started putting them in these sleeves, yada, yada, yada. And then Nat Turner replied, regular opens in 2 weeks. So what does that mean? Regular opens in 2 weeks. Okay, so if you go to the PSA's website right now and you look at the services and you look at trading card grading, there's only 3 services right now. There's Super Express, there's Express for $150, and that's it. So regular would be the next tier. We don't know at what level or at what cost they're going to do that. Somebody sent me this, and I'll pull this up, but I don't know where they got it from or where it was, or maybe it was a snapshot of an old pricing scenario here. So let me do this just to keep it kind of anonymous here. Regular would be 100, economy would be 50, and value would be 20. So we're talking about Super Express, and now we're talking about a regular price point opening up. So right now there's only Express at 150, and what we're talking about is this regular opening up. Now, I said this before. Actually, what do they? Didn't they have it? I could have sworn it was $100. 300, 150. Because I could have sworn we've had this conversation about what cards are you sending for $150, for $100 that you weren't sending at $150. So I kind of feel like this was already there. I don't know. I'm so confused. Maybe you guys can clear up my confusion here. But regular opens up in 2 weeks is what he said. This was as of yesterday, so 22 hours ago, almost a whole full day ago. Regular opens in 2 weeks. I don't know if they closed out regular or what, but anyway, $100 a card, $50 a card, $20 a card. I kind of feel like this was already there at $100. Anyway, the speculation is that they're going to open up in 2 weeks, right? And, you know, based on everything that we've been looking at, and based on some of the comments that he's made and some of the math that has been done by several other content creators, opening up a $100 tier in the next 2 weeks, right before the holidays, I think is going to be suicide for them. I don't know what they have, and this is the other thing too about PSA is that we really don't know what's going on over there for the most part. I mean, they do these little things here. So this customer service center, the last thing that they talked about was the sleeves. And then before that, they talked about the Steve Sloan, who's the marketing guy for Collectors Universe now. So nothing really in terms of output or anything like that. They're talking about the 40,000 cards a day. I just don't know. I don't know that if them opening up in 2 weeks, which is basically December 1st, is really the right thing to do. Because what I think what kind of pisses me off about that is that, some of you, I think somebody in the last video said that they've been waiting 13 months for their cards and they still haven't gotten anything back yet. Graded Card Investor just got his sub back and it was 13 months. I'm still waiting on my sub and it's going on 12 months. And yet PSA continues to open up services at an even lower price point, presumably a longer turnaround time. But this longer turnaround time, do you guys really want to pay $100 to get a card subbed if it's going to take 3 months, 4 months, which is still significantly better than the year that some people are waiting now? But for those of us that have been waiting for a year, I mean, this is kind of a kick in the nuts. Like, I got cards my 3 cards that I got sitting over there have been there for a year almost, And so I don't know when those are coming back. But yet PSA now wants to take in more cards at a lower price point, which is presumably going to create a wave of people. So I'm pretty sure there's some cards out there that are people who have been sitting on that are worth the $100, that are worth sending them in there. Now, whether or not you're going to get a fair grade and whether or not you're going to get an accurate grade and whether or not, that's another discussion. But, to those of you who think you have a PSA 10 in something that's worth more than $150, but not more than $2,000 or $3,000, because then you're going to get hit with an overcharge, then you don't really, you're going to create another wave of stuff, of backlog. And then how do you manage that? I don't think it's the right move for them to open up in 2 weeks. Why would they do that? So that leads me to one of the comments in somebody I was talking to on Instagram. They said, well, maybe he was joking. I sure as hell hope not, because you can't joke about that. That's like Warren Buffett joking that he's going to sell all his holdings, right? Warren Buffett going on TV and going, I'm about to sell everything. Well, what's that going to do? That's going to, he's a very influential person, and him saying something like that is going to create panic, a ripple effect, or whatever the case may be. But it's going to cause people to do things and make moves and based on what he said. Same thing here. Same thing goes for Nat in this case. If he says that they're going to open up in 2 weeks, you got to imagine he's saying that for a reason, because maybe operationally they're getting ready for that. But this is coming on the heels of him on the Card Talk podcast, talking about, hey, it's not going to be this year. It's not going to be next year before they go to the $20 a card. It's probably going to be next year before they go back down to the economies and the bulk services and all that stuff. But he wasn't. There's still 2 or 3 other tiers that they need to open up, but they're opening up incrementally one by one. I just don't think it's the right time. I think they're going to get hit with another wave. I think that $100 price point is a psychological price point where people are going, I'd throw $100 at it, and see if I can get this, Kobe rookie to come back a PSA 9 or maybe even a 10 and turn around and sell it for a couple $1,000. So it's just one of those things where I don't know that they care too much about the people that have been waiting for a long time, because otherwise they wouldn't open up any other services. until they're fully caught up. And that still bothers the ever living shit out of me. And I don't know why they continue to do that. But again, this is pretty pretty shocking stuff. Not shocking, but like it's just noteworthy, right? I mean, they're going to continue to open up slots, or they're going to continue to open up services, but yet they haven't taken care of the people who have already sent their cards in a year ago. And that sucks. But I can't say that I expected them not to do it, because I imagine they have hundreds of thousands of cards, maybe even millions of cards sitting there where people paid $9 a card. And they can essentially get another couple 100,000 cards in at 10 times the price, right? It's more valuable to them. They're averaging up. Their dollar cost average is up. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't subscribe to the idea that he's joking. I think he's serious. I think they are going to open up the next price point. That little chart that I pulled up here, I don't think that that's anything official. I just think somebody put that together. But it makes sense. 150 to 100, and then to 50 to 20. I don't think we'll ever see it at 20. I don't think PSA is. I think they have too much of an ego to price anything lower than SGC, for example. They're probably thinking, well, hell, if SGC can charge $30, then we can charge $35 because we're PSA. But I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts? It's a kick in the nuts to me. My cards have been sitting there for almost a year. I know several of you your cards have been sitting there for much longer, if not around the same time. How do you feel about the fact that they're opening up another service level, potentially promising shorter turnaround times, but yet still most of us are waiting on our cards to come back from last Christmas? Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. And we'll pick up on Wednesday for the update, because I got a couple of things that have come to my attention about the numbers as they've been coming out recently. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But you do not want to miss the update this week. Okay, I'll chat with you guys on Wednesday. Love y'all. Peace.